AMCA has a very proud history in the sense that its members have been involved in basically every iconic building in the country. The association has been at the forefront of the development of many of the cultural institutions that we have around the country.
Alan Hoon became the first president of the AMCA in Victoria in 1961. That movement really spurned more of the other states in Australia becoming into the AMCA fraternity, forming their own branches.
At that time in the late 1950s, we were moving into multi-storey central plant buildings. The contractual issues that the contractors who were dealing with those sorts of construction were dealing with quite different issues that a domestic plumber was dealing with.
Back over time, when you think about technologies, plumbing became heating and ventilating. Ventilating ultimately moved on to become air conditioning. So the technology change in our industry was happening in front of our eyes. Companies and members of AMCA needed to adapt to that technology.
Without the AMCA, we wouldn't have seen the advance in the professionalism and the technology advances within all the companies. It's certainly helped the industry grow and expand. Because some of these projects now today are so large that one company could do the particular project, but they'd have to shut the whole organisation down to cope. So by forming a joint venture with another professional air conditioning company, they can carry on their normal business and still do the joint venture.
Training's been at the heart of AMCA since its foundation. Many of those visionaries that sat around the first AMCA table were very connected to the needing to bring skills to their companies, to upskill people, to give them career pathways, but also to respond to the type of activities we were undertaking as businesses.
To make the industry obviously more competent, more proficient, more knowledgeable with what they do, and of course education today is just so important, and obviously the AMCA RTO underpins that.
The Training Achievement Awards date back well into the 1990s, and they were designed to recognise and foster excellence. You know, many of those people have gone on to become significant players in the industry. I've sat on many interviews to provide the award, and on many occasions the difference is that much. I really felt bad about not giving awards to everybody because there are some fantastic people that get put up for awards. I think whether you win or not, you should be really pleased that you've been nominated, that your business thinks that you're worthy.
AMCA Australia is proud to have partnered with two TAFEs, one with Box Hill with the Refrigeration Centre of Excellence, and secondly with Holmesglen with the Centre of Excellence. The facility has been specifically also designed to replicate a real-world experience in the mechanical services area.
By having centres that are focused, but importantly destinations where people want to be trained, having a sense that you walk into the facility at Box Hill and you see all the modernised equipment within the pods, the training methods being used for our apprentices and post-trade training is so important. The same with Holmesglen, it's totally interactive, it's got a complete technology overlay, it's all been designed using building information modelling, has an enormous mix of different systems and processes. So it is what industry sees in the field is what's being replicated in the classroom, which is so important in terms of the development of our people.
Through our international connections and the International Alliance of Mechanical Contracting Associations, we learned about the early days of BIM and how that was operating in other countries and how it was being dealt with, and America was the leader in the development of BIM technology, and the association really wanted to be at the forefront of BIM development here in Australia.
The building information modelling piece and the BIM Map Oz journey goes back now nearly 15 years. Fundamentally it was an AMCA response at the time where for contractor members we were constantly being challenged about the need to embrace technology and go forward with the opportunities around building information modelling. It also meant that we were making very large investments into technology platforms, training and other things to respond. We had consultants and design houses taking on building information modelling, but doing it in isolation without thoughts of their broader standards, apart from their own individual company standards. And we had suppliers that were looking for leadership around developing their content. Ultimately, the way of bringing it to members was what was seen by creating a forum that we could actually bring what was happening in the world, what the initiative was working on, and also start to educate the membership around those sorts of decisions having to be made.
The Construction Innovation Forum, without doubt, is a wonderful collaboration globally where, I guess subject matter experts come together from around the world and they talk about building information modelling and share that knowledge to advance the cause of BIM and what it achieves within the built environment. One of the ways that AMCA helps its members is ensuring that there's regular communications and information.
There were a number of things that people appreciate. One of them really was that they could get on the phone and talk to the appropriate person in the AMCA who could deal with their issue. We always took the philosophy here that a member didn't ring up for a chat, they ring up because that issue was important to them now. There have been some very, very intelligent, smart people who've held positions in the AMCA. They were able to identify the issues that were important to contractors, the issues that needed to be pursued.
One of the observations I've made is the quality of leadership that in fact is embedded throughout the AMCA across the country. I think it's wonderful to see so many people engaged within the association, the pride that they take in the association, the wonderful history that it has, and one of the things that I observe all the time is that just what a trusted organisation it is and how that everybody wants to aspire to achieve greater things within the industry.
The air conditioning component that goes into these buildings now is very sophisticated, and I think the leaders in those industries can see the value of sharing that expertise through the AMCA and developing a very strong, viable industry.
The AMCA is about to go through its greatest transition since its original formation in developing and moving beyond state-based models into a full national model. There's still a really strong foundation for core local members to have the right activities, the right training, the right industrial relations representation, and all the things that our forefathers wrote in 1961 when they started.
After many, many, many years of planning and consultation with our members, I'm really excited that AMCA Australia is now truly a national organisation with a united and single voice.
I think a more inclusive, broader AMCA will come from the national model, places for the supply chain to belong, people that are coming up through their careers within the industry have better opportunities to be more connected and see that as a stronger pathway.
Becoming a national organisation will help, of course, our members to succeed and prosper in what is a fast-moving and competitive industry.